Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Marathon ki Jai. Transcendental Book Distribution ki Jai. Harinama Sankirtan ki Jai. Transcendental Prasad Distribution ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Shri Radha Parasishwara ki Jai. Go Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nivasesha Sunyavari Aschachadesha Tarine Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna. We'll be during the marathon. No, you can do as you wish, but I won't be following the course of the class schedule, the normal one. Especially today, I'm Dana Tai. I had to fight with Dana Tai. He so much wanted to give the class this morning. Practically speaking, I almost had to call up the BBC, but he eventually surrendered. He was so excited about today's class. He'd been preparing for weeks, you know. What was the subject matter?
All my life I've prepared.
All your life, yeah. Lifetime after lifetime. I won't mention the subject matter, should I?
I think so, because you saved me from this.
What was the subject matter?
How to choose the right wife for Vyashta Ashram.
That was today's class. Just perfect for the Prabhupada book marathon, for the first day of the marathon. Especially for Naishtika Brahmachari. If only. Well, it's an important topic, but we'll leave that for another day. Maybe another lifetime, or maybe you don't have to leave it for another lifetime. I hope you've had enough of it. But let's see what Krishna has in store for all of us. But whatever it is, today is the first day of the Srila Prabhupada book marathon, at least in France. Some temples have begun already, some temples have not begun, and some temples will not begin. At least not officially. But most temples will, and most temples, they start about now, because most temples, they finish on Christmas Eve. We don't. We finish on New Year's Eve. And, you know, we torture you a little 1 week longer. No, the reason for that is because it's a good week. The biggest day we had last year, and every year, is the New Year's Eve. Christmas Eve is not very big. It's not a big day here. Not like other days. And it's not the big, I mean, people go out shopping, you know, after Christmas. You have, I don't know, I think you have sales or something like that where they sell things a little cheaper. Mm-hmm. They save up and they do their shopping after Christmas, you know. Because they're not really, those who are Christians and serious about Christmas, okay. But most people are not serious about it like they used to be. You know, it's not like such a big, you know, scene like it used to be. So you get the things cheaper afterwards, you know. Whatever. So it's a good week, the week after Christmas. That's what we do. But some temples started when we were in India. They'd already started. They started the marathon just after Kartik.
Wow.
But I think they go on till they go on till the end of the year, I think, as well. Too. Some of them go into the first week of January. They don't stop. And they do like almost a 2-month marathon. Almost. That's one of the reasons they have such gigantic scores, you know. Not the only reason. They're going to do big anyway. So anyway, that's where we're at. So I'm going to read from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, 18th chapter, text 9, 518, 9. You have it on the screen. It's coming? Just now coming. I have to find it on my computer. I don't have a book.
You want the book?
If the book is available. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 memorized the verse. The one before I know. You fifth canto. No, maybe they don't have it here. He said he was going to
He's
get the
looking
book.
for it.
It should be in the library somewhere.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'll see if it does. If it doesn't manifest, I'll just put it in my library. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Okay, here it is. All together. Swasti,
Swasti,
Astu,
Astu,
Vishwasya,
Vishwasya, Kala,
Prasidata,
Prasidata,
Jayantu,
Jayantu,
Bhutani,
Bhutani,
Shivam,
Shivam,
Mito,
Diya,
Diya, Manas,
Manas,
Bhadram,
Bhadram,
Bhajatat,
Bhajatat,
Vakshajay,
Vakshajay,
Aveshatag,
Aveshatag,
Matir,
Matir,
Apir, Vaitaki,
Vaitaki,
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Manascha Bhadrang
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Aveshatang Matirapya
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki.
Lady.
Svastyati Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Svastyasti Vishwasya Kalak Prasidatan,
Janu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Jayantu Bhutani Shivam Mitodia,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Manascha Bhadrang Bhajatadat Hokshajay,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Aveshatang no Matirapya Hoitaki,
Swasti,
Swasti,
auspicious,
auspicious,
Swasti, Astu,
Astu,
let there be,
let there be,
Vishvasya,
Vishvasya,
of the entire universe,
of the entire universe,
Kalaha,
Kalaha,
the envious,
the envious,
almost everyone,
almost everyone,
Prasidatam,
Prasidatam,
let them be pacified,
let them be pacified,
Jayantu,
Jayantu,
let them consider,
let them consider,
Bhutani,
Bhutani,
all the living entities,
all the living entities,
Shivam,
Shivam,
auspiciousness,
auspiciousness,
Mitaha,
Mitaha,
mutual,
mutual,
Diya,
Diya,
by their intelligence,
by their intelligence,
Manaha,
Manaha,
the mind,
the mind,
Cha,
Cha,
hand,
hand,
Bhadram,
Bhadram,
calmness,
calmness,
Bhajatat,
Bhajatat,
let it experience,
let it experience,
Adhokshajay,
Adhokshajay,
in the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
in the Supreme Personality of God,
who is beyond the perception
with beyond perception,
of mind, intelligence, and senses.
of mind, intelligence, and senses,
Aveshata,
Aveshata,
let it be absorbed.
let it be absorbed,
Naha,
Naha,
our.
our,
Matihi,
Matihi,
intelligence.
intelligence,
Api,
Api,
indeed.
indeed.
Ahoitaki,
Ahoitaki,
without any motive.
without any motive.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
This is a prayer of Prahlad Maharaj. Usually we don't go here for Prahlad's prayers. We go to the 7th canto. If we give class again, I'll be reading from the 7th canto, prayers of Prahlad Maharaj again. But this is a very unique one. It's the residents of Jambudweep offering their prayers to the Lord in His different forms. Different residents of the universe, they worship, they have the same God, but different Ishtadev, appears in different forms. Loving reciprocation, just like in this world, everyone appears different to each other, the same person. But if I look at you, to me, you come over like this, and to someone else, you're different. You're ugly, handsome. I don't like you, I like you. Depends, everything's relative in this world, of course. But it's a relationship, so with the Supreme Personality of God, that exists in this world because it's there in God. Every living entity has a unique relationship with God, and the Lord reciprocates with them accordingly. So He appears according to the individual's mood, or their vow, their loving affection towards Him. What mood is in. So, in this case, Prahlad Maharaj, in Harivash, he's worshipping the Lord in the form of Lord Nrsimhadev. He sees the Lord. This is his worshipful Dev, Ishtadev. So here he's offering his obeisances to the Lord. For the previous verse, which is a very famous verse also, who knows the previous verse? Om Namo Bhagavate Narishingaya Namaste Jitayase, and so on. Interesting sequence of prayers of Prahlad. They're very relevant to us. This verse today, you could say, is a verse of descriptive compassion towards other living entities. Preaching, we would say preaching in their Western terminology. But to preach, you can see the previous verse, the qualifications to be effective in this regard, and Prahlad's mood of approaching the Lord. Please remove all the anarthas from my heart, cleanse my heart, tear them out. This way one becomes a transparent media for the Lord to give His mercy to everyone. He's willing, people don't want. So through the agency of the pure devotees, the Lord's mercy showers on the conditioned souls. This is how it works. The Lord says, don't preach to these people, but the devotees, knowing the real desire of the Lord doesn't want to bother His devotees, but the devotees want to bring more pleasure to the Lord. So this transcendental kind of, no, it's not a competition, but this transcendental kind of relationship is going on. So the devotees want that everyone become Krishna conscious. So Prahlad Maharaj is emphasizing in the first prayer, text number 8, how important it is that we cleanse our hearts and we approach Lord Nrsimhadev to remove all the anarthas. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also made it very clear, even to approach the worship of Radha Krishna. He went to Nrsimhapali in Mayapur and prayed to Lord Nrsimhadev to please clear my path so that I can approach Radha and Krishna. worship by pleasure. Otherwise, we have these, anarthas, these motivations in our hearts, misconceptions, attachments, and so many things, which tend to, let's say, coat whatever service we do. They tend to, pervert whatever preaching or service. We try our best. That's why book distribution is given more emphasis in a sense, because there's no real perversion there. There's no ill motivation. I mean, we may be ill motivated in trying to distribute the books or whatever, but in terms of the content of the books, that's what it is. It's the ecstasy or the heart of a pure devotee we see. Prabhupada said, what will your 2 minutes preaching do? They'll forget everything. You may have noticed all the time this happens, doesn't it? You talk to people, you're very interested after 15 minutes, and they say, well, that's very interesting. Have you heard of Jesus? Isn't it? So often that sort of thing happens. It happens all over the world. It could be anything. At least, all credit, at least those of another religion, the Islam religion, they make it quite clear, right from before you even see them. It's like you don't have to beat around the bush there. You know exactly what's going on. But anyway, these things go on. So somehow or another, to try to share the truth with others and to distribute Prabhupada's books. So today is the first day of our marathon. We'll read this verse. So this is Prahlad Maharaj's, you could say, love. And once our heart is cleansed, then love really begins. Love doesn't have some kind of sentiments there, but love begins when our heart is really cleansed. And of course, real love is only when we love the origin of everything, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His consort. Only when that real love begins, because then we can understand what is the relationship of everybody. Who are they? What is their real self-interest? These things aren't realized until one realizes the nature of the Supreme Lord and our eternal relationship with Him. Then it's natural to feel compassion towards others. It's related to the compassion for Krishna as well, of course. The translation, may there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. And Prabhupada said practically everyone. In the material world, the first characteristic of being in this world is envy. Only the pure devotees of the Lord, the only non-envious creatures in the world, even Brahma, is tinged with envy. At least in the past time we see of his trying to bewilder Krishna, or Krishna's associates, Brahma, Vimohan, Leela. Even he had a tinge of envy at that point. My power is greater than Krishna's. There's other factors to the story, but basically envy was involved. And there's no living entity in the universe other than the pure, totally transcendental devotee of the Lord who is not affected by envy. So it really means everybody. May they be pacified, not just satisfy their material desires, but pacified to the root. That means complete removal of all separate interests other than the interests of Krishna. And may all living entities become calm by practicing Bhakti Yoga. We may wonder, am I practicing Bhakti Yoga? Sometimes we don't see devotees so calm. Sometimes we get a little bit excited. Getting excited, right? But not, you can be calm and excited, but sometimes they get disturbed and excited, let's say. And they're not always so calm, are they? Calm means within. You're not disturbed within. But, mostly all of us are still affected by the motive nature, in whatever form it manifests. We're all disturbed, basically speaking, isn't it? Easily we get upset, isn't it? Things don't go our way. We're impatient. So many things. Because we're seeing ourselves in the center, not Krishna in the center. Bhakti Yoga is the transformation of perception from seeing ourselves in the center to Krishna in the center. We've all got our ideas of how to do it, what it is. It has to change. It has to be transformed to the Krishnendriya, to seeing it in relation with Krishna, not just sentimentally, but reality. It takes purification of the heart. It takes a lot of surrender. It's not just it's surrendering our perception. our false idea of how we see things. That's the surrender. It's quite easy to surrender in terms of following regulated principles. When I say quite easy, we know how hard that is. But it's really easy compared to the inner surrender. Really easy. Or chant 16 rounds, go on Sankirtan, worship the deity. All this is meant to help this transformation to evolve. But in of itself, it's not the transformation. It's kind of like getting in a car and you're moving, but you know you have to reach the destination. There's a long way to go. So the cleansing within the heart has to go on. And that is mainly changing our perception of how we see things. Many details. But of course it involves all kinds of other emotional factors, but in principle it's a change of perception. So that's Bhakti Yoga. And Bhakti means ultimately, Bhakti means Anyabhilasatashram. It's not just activity, it's a state of consciousness. The activity which we perform by the mercy of the pure devotees, of course, has its connection, and naturally we can become, if we're trying to sincerely follow the instructions of the pure devotee of the Lord, naturally, bhajana kriya, that stage of purification, should take place. Anartana vritti takes place, so to speak. Heart becomes cleansed. One becomes freed of all these false motivations. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare, real welfare, not just feed the body and clothe the body and educate the mind and whatever else it is, but to actually see beyond the modes of nature and see how the living entity is entangled in this material world and is continually acting in a way to implicate them in this cycle of birth and death. Are you leaving us, Jiva Prabhu? How are we going to get? How on earth am I going to get my mobile connected to my line? What time?
I don't know. During the class.
Sometimes she's coming. She'll be able to do it, right? Okay. Now, just a quick thing before you go. I suggest, it's only a suggestion, you and your leaders can decide. Do you have Guru Puja at, what is it now, 7:15? Daily reading at 7:30, class at 7:45, finished at 8:30. Today we will not have that, but I would suggest, as a general, during the marathon. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Then you have a little more time for yourselves. You can read, rest, whatever you have to do before going on Sankirtan, or if you want to go out straight away, you can do that too. Isn't it? Get your bags ready, whatever you want to do. Because the class goes on to 9:15, then your prasadam goes on till 10:30. Then you're tired, and that goes on till 12 o'clock. Then it's almost lunchtime, so I may as well wait for lunch and go out after. And it's 2 o'clock, and you're down. I missed the bus, missed the train. 5 o'clock, you arrive at Châtelet. I've got to get back for Archie, It's all gone. The day's over. It can happen. Oh, that's aggravated, but it's sometimes a little like that, isn't it? Dragged out. So I would suggest that you talk to Rasa Prior and the others if you want. Unless you want to have a vote on it here and now. That might be too embarrassing. We might have a fight like here in the temple room, Be throwing cartels at each other. No, yes, no, yes. Anyway, you decide. Is that right? That's my suggestion. And if you don't do it, watch out. And we do that, most temples, they do make a little adjustment. And that's not a big adjustment anyway. We're very late here in the morning program. Most temples' program finishes at 8:30 on a normal day. If you lived in London, all over by 8:30. Hare Krishna. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought. This is the essence. We can't preach, we can't give what you don't have. The following verse describes a Vaishnava, Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha, Kripasindivivacha, Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Just like a desire tree, a Vaishnava can fulfill all the desires of anyone who takes shelter of his lotus feet. It doesn't mean material desires, by the way. It does in a sense. The root of all desire is a hankering or the desire for self-satisfaction, etc. Along those lines. But we don't know who the self is. So the devotee connects the self with the Supreme Personality of God and automatically, when it's fully satisfied. But for all living entities, the gentle, the envious, and the mischievous. Prahlad Maharaj is a typical Vaishnava. He prays not for himself, but he prays for all living entities, the gentle, the envious, and the mischievous. It's the same personality, a different expansion. The same person, Vasudeva Datta, prayed the same way. An expansion. Who's first and who's second? Well, we think Vasudeva Datta is in the eternal Leela of Lord Chaitanya in Shatadweep, so we'll understand that's the original form. Prahlad Maharaj will be an expansion. We see it the opposite way around because we're in the material world. He always thought of the welfare of mischievous persons like his father, Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad Maharaj did not ask for anything for himself, rather he prayed for the Lord to excuse his demoniac father. This is the attitude of a Vaishnava who always thinks of the welfare of the entire universe. Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Dharma are meant for persons who are completely free of envy. Paramani Matsaran. Therefore Prahlad Maharaj prays in this verse, Kalak Pasidatam. May all the envious persons be pacified. All of them. Beginning with ourselves. The material world is full of envious persons, but if one frees himself of envy, he becomes liberal in the social dealings and can think of others' welfare. And sometimes you're on, somebody says something to us, and you ever get that? You become a little angry sometimes? Anyone ever have that experience? You become disturbed? You feel like punching them in the nose? Or, starting an argument or something? Or you become depressed is the other angle of, whatever, negative response. Isn't it? Sometimes. But pure devotees they may only get angry in the sense if they're, against Krishna, but they don't get angry on their own account. No. They're just thinking how to help this person, how to save this soul. We may have a flicker of that consciousness, but it's not very deep, or not deep enough. The Bible says here, those who free themselves of envy, they become liberal and can think of the other's welfare in real terms. Anyone who takes up Krishna consciousness and engages himself completely in the service of the Lord cleanses the mind of all envy. This is one of the main symptoms of this transformation. Freedom of envy. Envy is a very big topic. It's usually thought to be, you're kind of like intensely jealous of somebody else for what they've got or something. There's a little bit more to it than that. But, that's definitely probably the most kind of obvious understanding. Any negative feeling towards others, any desire to see oneself superior to anyone else, all kinds of things can be brought into the picture. In any way trying to enjoy somebody else, be it physical, mental, sexual, whatever it may be. Even eating, that's why meat eating is said to be envy, because we want to enjoy their body. Myself, I want to eat their body. Every one of these things is related to envy and so many other things too. Competition. Everything has its tinge or, say, envious root. Or to speak of the relationship with God, how can he do that? How can God expand like that? How can he do this? How can he do that? This is ridiculous. We're envious of Krishna. I can't do it, therefore he can't do it either. Kind of envy. So it's right at the root. But actual bhakti yoga will transform that. We'll see things slightly differently, to say the least. Therefore, we should, where do we get to there? Anyone who takes up Krishna consciousness and engages himself completely in the service of the Lord cleanses the mind of envy. Therefore, we should pray to Lord Nrsingadev to sit in our hearts. We should pray. Bahir Nrsinga Hidaye Nrsinga Nrsingamading. Let Lord Nrsingadev sit in the core of my heart, killing all my bad propensities. We can't do it on our own. This is another sign of envy. We think we can do it on our own. Do it my way. The only hope we've got is to actually surrender, take shelter of the Lord. We try our best, of course, we act naturally. But the root thing is always being conscious of Krishna, depending on Krishna. Krishna's final instructions in Bhagavad Gita, or more or less all of them, are said, just work, do your duty, and depend upon me. Depend always on my mercy. Act always under my direction. It's all about being conscious of Krishna, realizing that this is our only shelter. We chant Hare Krishna, so that's major connection there. Let Lord Nrsingadev sit in the core of my heart, killing all my bad propensities. Let my mind become clean so that I may peacefully worship the Lord and bring peace to the entire world. It's quite a strong statement, isn't it? The peace formula, Prabhupada gave the peace formula. Bhaktaram Yagatapasam Sravalokamaheshwari. That was his peace formula, to understand that Krishna is the source of everything, the owner of everything, the enjoyer of everything, and the only real friend and well-wisher of everything. One who understands that can become free to the pangs of material existence, be peaceful. And such a person then can really preach Krishna consciousness. We just assist such persons. We're like trying to assist them, trying to help them. So we try to do what they say, not what we say. We may, have many ideas, that's fine, we can try to do our best. But ultimately the bottom line is whether it's pleasing to the pure devotee of the Lord. That's the real bottom line. I'm going to finish the purport. I'm going to finish the purport today. But today we'll carry on tomorrow and finish the purport tomorrow. I'm going to go on to one or two things in relationship to today, being the first day of the marathon. If this can, is that okay if I carry on tomorrow?
Yes.
The boss is not here, so it's not. I don't know if you'll be here tomorrow. It's such a nice purport and such a nice topic. Prahlad Maharaj is the personification of the preacher, basically, at least in this world. On our level, there are different levels of preaching, particularly for us. That's why, Namaste Narasingha, we sing every day. How many times I don't know, isn't it? It's established within our movement. Even when you go on Harinam, sometimes you sing Namaste Narasingha. We sing at the end, but we used to sing at the beginning. It's the beginning you need the attention, not maybe at the end as well. We only start singing it when we're in trouble. We're in trouble, fight for word go, we should start with it. Anyway, whatever, it's no problem. Do or don't. We depend. Hopefully we depend on the mercy of the Lord always. I'm going to read something which Prabhupada spoke about in December 1968 in Los Angeles. Oftentimes, if you've read the newsletter we just sent out one on, well, I put it a little bit out on WhatsApp groups about a week ago, but sent a newsletter out yesterday. Word newsletter. So it was on there too. It's a poem. I'm not going to read the poem, by the way, but it's a poem by one American poet. Some guy. He's still alive. Which Shivaram Raj quoted in his conversations. And it's there if you have. Do you have that book? I gave a book the other day, The Glories of the Brihatmadanga or something by Vijay Prabhu. You have that book here. It's available. Well, it's a good idea to read from it every day. I don't want it now, by the way. No, I don't need it now. It's a good idea to read from it every day.
Okay.
It's very inspiring.
Sure.
Vijay Prabhu, book distribution minister. So he's come up with this book, which is basically testimonies and different stories that different devotees have had, different pastimes they've had on Sankirtan. So one of Shiva Ramaj is quoted quite a lot in there. He was very much a book distributor. I remember when he was the president of the manor for many long time now. Was the president? He was AGBC regional secretary. I think he was the president for a while. Anyway, he was staying at the manor, and he would sometimes go out like 6, 7 in the morning, and drive like 3 or 4 hours to reach spots to do book distribution. And the whole day on book distribution, come back at night, get up at 2 in the morning. And he used to get up every day, 2 o'clock in the morning, read for 2 hours before Mangalarti. Well, he's so learned. Around he worships deities. So, very strict sadhak. But he would go on book distribution every opportunity he could get. This is like, and so he's our main, behind the scenes, he's our main inspiration here in France. He's constantly emphasizing, even if everything else goes wrong, at least try to carry on doing book distribution. Constantly. Not that we hope that everything else goes wrong, of course we don't. Sometimes things don't go as well as we hope they don't, put it there. But at least book distribution can go on. It's the foundation of our movement. Just like in London yesterday, you may have heard yesterday morning, at about 9 o'clock in the morning London time, there was an auction in London for a building, and the dealers bought it. They won the auction. Diamore called me up about 5 minutes after the auction and gave the news. But it wasn't an ordinary building which they purchased, as you know. You may have read it. That the first temple in ISKCON, real temple in ISKCON, was Bury Place. Up to that time, they were just preaching centers. There were no installed. Well, Gilganath was there in San Francisco, but it was just a storefront. And that building didn't last long. I don't even think it's there anymore. Second Avenue, they were there for, I don't know, maybe a year. Then they moved to another location. It's just a storefront. There was no deity worship. But the first real deity worship probably established in the world was in London. 69, this time, 1969, installed rather London. First real deity worship in the movement, and on a big level. Obviously other temples had smaller deities, Boston, this one. The first big deities, let's say, installed in Israel. Small ones were. So they're very significant, and that building was known. Everyone knows how historic that building is. So yesterday the devotees purchased it at the auction. So that will become like a place of pilgrimage, holy theatre. Try to resurrect it so it's like it was. And Prabhupada. Let's see what Krishna's plans are. But that's the idea. There'll be a lot more to it. That's the idea. I won't mention how much these buildings cost a lot of money in the center of London. Krishna provides. Let's hope he provides somewhere in Paris at some point in time as well. Not bigger than, the temple room has to be bigger than Bury Place temple room is not much bigger than this, by the way. Maybe 50% bigger than this one. No more than 50% bigger than this. It wasn't a big temple. It's not the idea that the deities are going to move there necessarily, but we need a bigger temple. Anyway, so it's a great achievement, a very great achievement. And sometimes things don't go so well and we feel like giving up, don't we? You ever had that? On Sankirtan it's quite common. Oh God. Your health, nobody is stopping. You only get people insulting you. The police are trying to, lock you up forever. Someone's just pinched all your money. Your Sankirtan book bag just got crunched in one of these garbage lorries. That happened to Sutapa. Now back to, what's his name? Swayam Bhagavan Keshwar Maharshi. He was down in Châtelet one time preaching, and he had his back turned on his book, his trolley. And the garbage man came along and threw his trolley in the back of the garbage truck. Oh no! He was having a tough day already. It was a tough day, and then he saw his trolley just disappearing into the garbage truck. Ray Janananda, I think he lost his trolley on guard, one time ago. These things happen, Something goes You never know what's going to happen. You're going down the escalator with a big box of the books, 200 Bhagavad Gita, and the thing falls off the trolley and tumbles down the escalator, smashing everyone to pieces in its wake. I got smashed by one of the trolleys when I was going down there a couple of years ago. It was like flying all over the place, with books going everywhere. The whole thing had jammed up the whole machinery. These things do happen sometimes. It doesn't always go the way we planned. Sometimes the mind is the biggest challenge, isn't it? The real challenge. Anyway, so Prabhupada's fully aware of that, how difficult it is for, likes of us at least. So I'll just read a few things Prabhupada said. Now this is 68, so really it hadn't started. Book distribution had not started at this point of time. Nobody was going out distributing books in 68. A few magazines, but no books. There weren't any books anyway. Prabhupada, only books that were available were Prabhupada's Bhagavatam's first 3 volumes. No other books were available. None. So to become God conscious, Prabhupada says, to become Krishna conscious is not a very cheap thing. It requires a great amount of austerity, penance to come to this stage. So never be disappointed that because people are not responding. You see? There are many good examples. Prabhupada gives an example. When Lord Jesus Christ also preached God consciousness, only a few followers were there. There weren't that many. And still he had to sacrifice his life. But he was never disappointed. That should be the attitude of the preacher. People may accept or not accept. We shall go on. Because if Krishna is satisfied, if Krishna sees, oh, these boys are doing very nice. They are trying their best to preach. That is your reward. That's all. People may accept or not accept. It does not matter. Go on. Like that. That's just a little basic generalization. Not specific to book distribution. Generalization of attitude. There will be challenges. There will be disappointments. There will be all kinds of objections, both within and without. But Prabhupada said, go on, just carry on. Now maybe tomorrow I'll read the poem, because I know that many of you have not heard it, and you've not read it. You may not have even received it, I don't know. It's an amazing poem of determination. There's many stories of this. You may have heard of the sparrow that laid his eggs on the seashore. But we'll go into that tomorrow. Today we're finished more or less there, and carry on with the purport, and maybe that poem which Shiva Ramai said, own words, sustained him through many a difficulty on Sankirtan. It helped to sustain him. It's a materialistic person who wrote it. It has a materialistic motive, you could say, but we can learn. One of the aspects of spiritual life, or at least devotional practice, is to learn how to use everything in relationship to Krishna. Krishna Sambandhe, Yukta. So I'm going to just go now to the task at hand, we could say. A few facts and figures, excuse me for this, but being a bit of a statistician, I kind of naturally go for these things. So, you okay? Yeah. So just to recap, last year on the Prabhupada Book Marathon, some of you were here, some of you were not. Most of you were here, I think. A few were not. But last year on the Book Marathon, we may have had, every year it starts like this, we think, oh my goodness, we don't have nearly as much, capacity as we had last year. It always seems to be like that. You never know what will happen. Of course, it could be like that. But we do see last year, out of the top 4 book distributors last year, 3 of them are unlikely to do as many as they did last year. One has broken their ankle, so they're hardly likely to do very much. Doina. She said she'll do what she can, but it's going to be very limited. Very limited. Another one is working now, full-time job. and they're going to put aside as many days as they can, but they won't have half the time they had last year. Another one is wonderful. Actually, we would also like to mention that the Harinam Sankirtan will be going out every day, which is wonderful. So that will also be there. Several of you will be mostly concentrating on that, but I'm sure you'll try your best to find some time to just do books in between or after or on the way or something like that. Everyone can try. We can't necessarily do full time, but we can try everything we can to try to share these books with others. Other services will go on, daily worship, cooking, guest programs, all must go on. But wherever we get the opportunity, we always used to have books here available for guests whenever they would come. Somebody's overseeing it. We have a system. We didn't do it last year. It takes somebody to do it, you know. It's little, but it's always there. The books are there. You can always, you know, take advantage of it. And other things too, book tables and what have you in the temple. Various things can be there. Consciousness, making people aware we're having a marathon. Why don't we take part? Why don't we sponsor some? Different things can be done like that. Someone has to do it. But anyway, as far as the main line, what we call the main line book distribution is concerned, the Janananda Prabhu is going to be just on Harinam Sankirtan with, yes, I guess, Yasu, you're going to be here for the month? You'll be here in Naratam also. They want to maintain that, which is wonderful. It's fantastic. And whatever chance they get, they'll distribute books also, I'm sure. So they were the top four in Harini. And Harini also, by the way, has to split her time between here, New Mayapur, and tours. You can maintain the, she's in tours right now, doing the Studio 108, Collective 108, whatever it's called, program. And again, you know, in 2 weeks' time she's going to have to do it. It's like, not going to be for last time she was, I don't think she was doing it last year. I think she was here. So those are the top four, so it's unlikely that they're going to be, you know, I mean, nothing's impossible, anything can happen, but, you know, in principle, they're not going to be so full-time, put it like that.
We got Emil Prabhu this year, Maharaj.
Huh?
We got Emil Prabhu this year.
No, we're depending on you this year. You're the secret weapon this year. It's you. Don't point the finger at others. Point it at ourselves, okay? It's easy. Oh, don't worry, we've got this one, we've got that one. They can do it. Oh. Don't play that trick on me. I know that one. No, don't get too worried. I'm not expecting anything. Don't worry. But I know you're. I'm a real pessimist this year, but I'm an optimistic pessimist. I set the low bar. I don't take very long before we push it up, you know. But we're not expecting. We're just going to try our best and try to be Krishna conscious. That's all. Try our best and try to be Krishna conscious. Depend on Krishna for the results. And Dayanatai Prabhu, as always, is, you know, you've done the same number every year. Every year, the same. He's steady as a rock, you know. He's the rock in the Sankirtan party.
I haven't heard like a rock, so
Yeah.
like a rock.
It's a good rock. I like it. Keep on rocking. You can ask Prabhu is there. What can you say? Hidden secret weapon. You know, he can do anything. He can do rock. Ooh. But he's going to do his best. And then again, Aristanasa Prabhu usually does exactly the same every year. He fills his car up, his big car. So many 600 Bhagavad Gitas, and that's it, 600 Bhagavad Gitas every year. Amazing, he was there for just 1 or 2 weeks. Ram Leela, we've heard that she's coming. I haven't seen the dust yet on the horizon, but I've heard she's coming. So be ready, people. You've got plans. We have another secret weapon. We don't know what's going to happen. With someone who has just begun. In fact, last year was their first crack at it. It was VJ.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen there. It's not sure. Secret. And then 1 or 2 others who are not also likely to be with us this year. They may be a little bit, but not so much. And then we got the real ones. Priya Rani. Oh my goodness. myself, Jadharani, all the Ranis. Rasikananda is coming up tomorrow.
Wow.
Gopalananda, the Tamil tiger. We don't know what it is yet. Christopher. Oh,
The Arabic.
no pressure on Christopher. When there's no pressure, no expectation. You never know what Krishna's going to do through Krishna. Namacharya will be milking the cows 24/7.
Okay.
Among shopping and everything else. Everyone else has run away. Manjual is in Italy, and Mahadev is coming here, and
Oh.
Nitachuran's working, and Baladev is building houses. His whole team are just all over the place.
Okay.
So I think he's going to be pretty tied up this year to see. Is Chakradhar here, or is he in India? Where is he?
He's in India. Yeah.
Is he coming back or not?
I don't think so.
Check it out and see. He's a missing link this year, complete missing link. He's one of our big guns normally. And of course our temple president, Deva Pran Prabhu. Then there's a whole group down at New Mayapur who, Pani Bhushan, Madhavendra Puri, and the whole team down there might do something. And then all kinds of other devotees, of course. Here and you and this one, that one. Basically, they're all like, additives. But we have another secret weapon, Mr. Yashomati. He's going to win the magazine. We're going to be competing on the magazines. Last year you were not in the running, I don't know. Maybe you were in the running, I can't remember. Last year we had someone, I can't remember. Who was the champion on magazines? Let me see. This is the big one, the magazines last year.
You, Mark.
No, I wasn't. I was absolutely thrashed.
It's Jila Pran, no?
No, I'm just looking down the list here. Is there anyone bigger than them? No, these are the big guns. Last year, believe it or not, Vijay won the magazines. He picked me, and I picked Aristanasana Prabhu, who was third. We were the big three. Anyway, that was the book distribution. Main thing is magazine distribution, so we're going to get 10 million magazines in for everybody, okay? Concentrate.
At least this one, people usually take it.
What they do after they take it is another thing. You can go around and find many of them lying around.
yes.
What to do. Anyway, somebody gets it and somebody benefits from it. So there we go, that's the, let's see. We did 9,000 Mahabig books last year.
Wow.
Between everybody, including reunion. 9,000. 8,998 to be exact.
Can we do 10,000 this year?
You can do anything, but can you? I said, you say, can we? Nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible. We're not targeting 10,000.
What's the target?
Huh?
What's the target?
I don't have one.
Okay.
We do the best we can. Well, we'll say we don't have one. I said that we'd try to do 8,000. Yeah. Bearing everything in mind. But I didn't say that's what we'll do. I said we'll try for it. I said that to the Sankirtan minister. No one else was coming up with the figures, so I just thought 7, and he said, we did 9, I better something in between, halfway in between. So we do our best anyway. We did 28,000 book points in the marathon last year. Slightly up on the year before, but down on the year before that. So let's see what Krishna's got in store. I don't mind, I'm happy with whatever happens. We'll just try our best, that's all. No getting anxiety, no pressure, just do our best. We want to be Krishna conscious, we don't just want to, go mad.
Maybe you can send someone to Mauritius.
To Mauritius?
With a lot of books.
Vigatashu and...
Then they will distribute very easily there.
Yeah? You been there?
No, but I heard that in Mauritius books are just,
I'm sure the local devotees will be very happy if we send some devotees there. I'll tell you, we can swap. They can come here, we can go there. They speak French.
They like deity worship.
They like deity worship.
Yeah, so
yeah, we just do the swap over. Then you have 4 sets of Radha Krishna days to look after over in Mauritius.
we bring the deity.
Anyway, no worries. Let's leave that for now. We do our best here. I think everyone more or less. Shantatma Prabhu will be the office man. Any problems, you can see him. Any books you need, give him a ring. Any prasadam complaints, you can bring it to him. You need anything from gloves to toothbrushes, you can see him. Shoes, whatever it is. If one of the other devotees is giving you a problem, see him. The police are giving you a problem, give him a ring. If you lost your bank card, give him a ring. If your mobile phone's not working, give him a ring. He'll do it anyway. Whatever it is, he's the man. He'll do everything for you, okay? If you're having health problems, just see him. You know, he'll say if you prasad, he'll bring the prasad down, he'll bring the books down, he'll do all the banking, he'll do all the money for you. Don't worry, he'll count all your money for you. He'll count your books for you, get your book bags ready if you tell him what you need. He'll do everything for you. He's going to be 25 hours a day non-stop. I don't give him more than, you know, it's necessary. Take responsibility. Don't come in and just throw your bag there, you know, big mess in the book room. Try to put your books back where they came from. I mean, presumably they came from the right place in the first place. Put them back where they're meant to be, you know. Don't put French books on top of the English books, and, you know, Arabic books mixed with the Indian books. And, you know, everything a big jumble sometimes. Try to be a little responsible. Don't leave garbage, and then don't leave anything in the book room except for books and necessary things. We won't even be able to keep the books, the trolleys in there. It's not going to be enough room. We'll have to keep them somewhere, maybe in the office or something. And we're going to try to make some more room, not rooms. But for now, at least, we've got to keep all the space we can in the book room. It's a very small room, very crowded. What else, Shantatma? Money. Please always report your scores on the day of distribution. Janananda Prabhu has already told you, probably you read it. It won't be recorded on that day if you don't do that. Please record on the day you've been on Sankirtan. Put it on the WhatsApp group or tell someone else if you're not on it. Hand your money in on the day, please, if you can. Don't leave it till have it to run and chase you up the next morning. The scores and actually make life easy for everyone. Don't waste other people's time. You're simply wasting our time, you know, just because you didn't want to do it that night. There may be exceptions to that. In general, that shouldn't be. Next Monday is Gita Jayanti. Think of ways that we can. Last year we did over 1,000 Gitas on that day.
Wow.
So think of what we can do to do the best we can. We may not do that, but at least we can do our best. Anything else? Everyone's had good notice. Russell Bryan and others have been mentioning if you need gloves, coats, underwear, all these things, isn't it? You were asking. So hopefully everyone's got it together. If you haven't, no problem. Just get it. Don't get cold. Keep warm. Efforts should be made to make the best prasadam for the devotees going on Sankirtan. Lunch packs, I presume, will be. I don't know if anything's already for lunch packs. Anything's been discussed. Normally everyone takes lunch packs. Someone delivers them, but I've not been involved, so I don't know if anything's been discussed there. If not, then today do your best. Try to take something for breakfast or something. And maybe some devotees will be able to go down. I don't know if necessary later that day. The first day is always a little bit, you know, let's say, things don't always go quite right. So be a little patient. Do your best. Okay, I'm going to finish there for now. Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
From tomorrow onwards, Jivananda Prabhu will be sending out the daily list, you know, ordered list of book distribution as he always does. And we'll be reading that out in the morning after daily greetings. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
His Holiness Janananda Goswami
Shantatma and myself will be out in the book room straight after breakfast.